Yo, what's cracking, folks? Here are some moments that were never supposed to be filmed or seen.
I went to go jump, but I'm so hype on stage, I'm not looking at the crowd.
From Tekashi belly flopping into crowds that forgot to catch him to the baby slapping fans and 50 Cent launching microphones like grenades absolutely unhinged. And trust me, fam, it only gets wilder from here. The baby slaps a fan and blames the Flash. Yo, fam, picture this. March 2020, Tampa, Florida. Whiskey North nightclub. And a baby is walking through a packed crowd heading to the stage for an after-party set. Phones everywhere. Flashes popping off like paparazzi on steroids. And one fan holds her phone so close to his face, the flash practically burns a hole through his retina. Now, what happens next is the part nobody was supposed to catch on camera. The baby reacts almost instantly with an open hand slap to her face, knocking the woman back before continuing forward, without stopping. The crowd booed him immediately, and the video hit TMZ faster than you can say zoom in. The woman, Tyranisha Law, came forward claiming a contusion to her cheekbone and a hospital visit. She filed a lawsuit for battery and emotional distress. The baby hopped on Instagram the next day with his version of an apology. And honestly, fam, it was something else.
I do sincerely apologize, I do. I'm very sorry that there was a female on the other end of that flashlight on that phone.
But then homie kept going, basically telling fans to learn how a camera zoom works.
But out of all them fans, how many people knew how to zoom in? Just zoom in.
He said he would have reacted the same way regardless of gender. Tyrona rejected the apology as insincere and said she was cyberbullied online afterward. The civil case was reportedly settled later, but no criminal charges were ever filed. A reflexive moment in a chaotic setting that became one of the most debated concert clips of 2020. And speaking of throwing things at fans, wait till you hear what Cardi B did with the whole microphone. Cardi B launches her mic into the crowd. Hey yo, July 2023, Las Vegas Dry's Beach Club, and Cardi B is performing Bodak Yellow at a pool party in scorching heat. She keeps telling the crowd to splash water on her to cool off. Sounds fun, right? Well, one fan took it literally and threw an entire drink, liquid and ice, straight into Card's face. Now, fam, if you know anything about Cardi, you know she is not the turn the other cheek type. She grabbed that microphone and hurled it into the crowd like she was pitching for the Yankees. A woman claimed she was struck by the mic and later filed a police report for battery. The video went everywhere within hours. TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, you name it. Some fans even pointed out that her vocals kept playing after she threw the mic, which sparked a whole separate lip-syncing debate. Las Vegas police investigated, but announced no criminal charges would be filed, citing insufficient evidence. But in July 2025, the woman filed a civil lawsuit against Cardi in the venue for assault, battery, and emotional distress. Card's legal team called it a transparent and pitiful attempted financial shakedown. Cardi herself described it as an automatic reaction to feeling disrespected after getting splashed in the face. She never issued a formal apology for the throw itself, just framed it as heat of the moment. Fans were split down the middle. Some said she was justified after being hit first. Others said throwing a heavy mic into a crowd is reckless, no matter what. But if you think one mic throw is wild, 50 Cent threw two in one night. 50 Cent throws two mics and hits a radio host. Fam, August 2023, Crypto.com Arena in Los Angeles, and 50 Cent is on his final lap tour performing with YG. Now, the audio team apparently decided to ruin his night because they kept handing him malfunctioning microphones that would not work. One dead mic, then another dead mic. Fifth was fed up. So what did he do? He launched both of them. The first one went off stage toward the crew area. The second one flew harder, and it struck a woman named Brahana Monine, a midday host for Power 106 radio, right in the head. She suffered a gash on her forehead, a concussion, and wrist pain. Photos of her bleeding injuries circulated online immediately. His attorney Scott Lehman came out with a statement saying, "Let's be very clear. My client Curtis would never intentionally strike anyone with a microphone." Meanwhile, 50 himself hopped on Instagram, joking about firing the audio team and tagging Lil Wayne for comedic effect, no formal apology to the actual victim. LAPD investigated it as battery, but ultimately filed no criminal charges in November 2023. Monaghan then filed a civil lawsuit in January 2024, seeking damages for assault, battery, and negligence. Now, this was not even 50's first rodeo with fan confrontations. Back in 2017, a woman at Baltimore Soundstage grabbed his arm and yanked him off the stage, and he punched her in the chest. Then at Summer Jam 2004, somebody threw a metal chair at him, and he caught it midair with one hand. That is peak 50 Cent energy right there. But while Fifth was dealing with broken mics, Kodak Black had a whole different kind of malfunction happening on stage. Kodak Black needs security to stand upright. Yo, homie, this one is more concerning than funny. During a Texas show around early 2026, viral footage surfaced of Kodak Black performing on stage while security guards physically held him upright from behind, supporting his weight as he struggled to maintain balance. He kept performing and gesturing to the crowd, but the guards were essentially propping him up like a mannequin at a department store. The clip spread across Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter faster than gossip at a barbershop. His team jumped on Instagram quickly, posting reels denying he needed to be held up and claiming security was just keeping him safe during normal stage movement. But fam, the pattern was already there. At Rolling Loud Miami in December 2024, Kodak arrived nearly 2 hours late, wandered the stage without a microphone, bumped into dancers, changed outfits mid-set, and seemed completely disengaged. Then there was the time he performed in Austin, Texas, wearing nothing but his boxers, which honestly raised more questions than answers. Fans were split between genuine worry and dismissal. Comments ranged from "he needs to stop now" and prayers up to people saying this was just typical Kodak energy. He even had a 2023 ER visit that sparked overdose speculation after a viral video showed him rushed to Broward Health Hospital on a stretcher. No official confirmation ever came. Now, while Kodak had people worried about his health, Lil Durk had people worried about ever disrespecting King Von in his presence. Lil Durk shoves fan for disrespecting King Von. What's cracking, folks? June 2022, Dip Stadium in Rotterdam, and Lil Durk is mid-P performance on his European tour. King Von's track Crazy Story comes on, and the energy in the building shifts. Now, Von was not just some random affiliate to Durk. This was his brother, his Fine, who was fatally shot in Atlanta in November 2020. So, when a fan in the crowd allegedly started making disrespectful comments about Von while his song played, Durk was not having it. He told the DJ to cut the music immediately and pointed directly into the crowd, saying, "Yeah, you." Durk walked to the edge of the stage, got face-to-face with the fan, exchanged words, and shoved him backward. Security stepped in and pushed the guy further back while Durk stared him down like he was ready to jump off that stage. Then, he grabbed the mic and told the entire crowd, I don't give a where I'm at. Nobody disrespecting Von, in this you know how the we rocking." He went right back to performing like nothing happened. No charges filed, no lawsuits. Fans overwhelmingly backed him up. The F community called it loyalty, said the fan had it coming. Some reports even claimed the guy was wearing a young boy shirt, which if true is basically walking into a lion's den wearing a steak costume. The clip reinforced Durk's street image more than anything. But Durk was not the only one stopping shows over crowd behavior. Glorilla had to shut down an entire concert because her fans could not stop fighting each other. Glorilla ends her concert over non-stop fights. Hey yo, Fam March 2025. The Factory in Chesterfield, Missouri, and Glorilla is headlining her glorious tour. The night starts off great. Fans are hyped. Energy is right. But then after intermission, multiple fights start breaking out in general admission. Not one fight, not two, but enough that Glow had to pause her set at least 3 separate times. And that commentary basically summed up the whole situation. She tried everything. She called out the crowd saying, "Come on now, y'all better than that." She told them, "Ain't nobody did nothing that bad for y'all to be out there fighting. Y'all supposed to be having a good time being glorious at the glorious tour." She even dropped the line, "I think y'all came to the wrong show. It's not WWE, guys." But the fighting kept going. Eventually, Glow made the call. She said, "We got to end the show St. Louis. It's another motherfin fight. I didn't want to do this, but we got to make sure safety first." She made a heart shaped with her hands and walked off. The fights reportedly continued even after she left the building. Fans who were actually there to enjoy the music praised her for putting safety first. The ones throwing hands, they caught all the internet shame. Speaking of stages getting chaotic, Tekashi could not even get a crowd to catch him. Tekashi's stage dives go horribly wrong. All right, fam. Early 2018 and Tekashi 69 is at the peak of his chaos era. Rainbow Hair Day 69 mixtape buzzing shows packed with energy, and this man decides the best way to hype things up is to throw himself off the stage. Now, normally when an artist does a stage dive, the crowd catches them. That is literally the whole point. But Tekashi was performing at a Fetty show in Montclair, New Jersey. Got so hyped he launched himself off the stage, and the crowd just parted like the Red Sea. He hit the floor hard, then tried it again the same weekend and ate another fall. They did not, in fact, got him. He later admitted in interviews that he saw God midair, and God told him to prepare for impact.
Everyone's telling me that I jumped in a group of 10 girls. It was just like some frail ass girls, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause every time I jump, when I jump, I hit a spin, so I don't hit nobody with my knees. So mid-air, I'm looking, but I'm already like hitting like 180 to like land on my back. So.
He even joked about fearing paralysis, but kept performing anyway. Now the dives were embarrassing enough. But then in September 2018, during a show in Russia, a fan rushed the stage and aggressively shoved him from behind, nearly flipping him over. His crew immediately jumped on the fan and gave him a full beatdown right there on stage. They dragged him down, punched, kicked, and stomped him while Tekashi watched. The stage dive clips became some of the most memed rap moments of 2018. And the Russia push became a whole separate debate about security and entourage violence, but at least Tekashi was trying to connect with fans. Drake was out here defending them. Drake calls out fan wrestling a woman. Yo homie. August 2023. Kia Forum in Englewood, and Drake is wrapping up another stop on his It's All a Blur tour with 21 Savage. As he heads off stage, he does what a lot of artists do and tosses his sweaty towel into the crowd as a souvenir. A female fan catches it clean. Should have been a cool moment, right?
Wrong.
A male fan immediately started wrestling the woman for the towel, pushing her and trying to snatch it by force. Drake was already walking toward backstage when he noticed the commotion. He stopped, turned around, and yelled at the guy from the stage edge, saying something along the lines of, "Give it to her. Are you crazy? Give it to her. Are you dumb?" The man reportedly backed off, and the towel stayed with the woman.
Security handled the rest.
This one was overwhelmingly praised. Fans called it chivalrous and gentlemanly, a rare moment where an artist actually stepped in to protect someone in the crowd. There were no lawsuits, no police reports, no drama beyond the clip going viral. And honestly, that was not even Drake's most awkward fan interaction. At a Manchester concert, a red-haired fan approached him during a crowd moment, and he pulled back saying something like, "I thought we knew each other. I thought that was my ex-classic Drake." He also got hit by a phone during the Chicago stop of the same tour and just kept performing. But while Drake was playing hero, Quo and Offset were backstage at the Grammys throwing hands at each other. Quo and Offset fight backstage at the Grammys. Hey yo, February 5th, 2023. The 65th Grammy Awards at Crypto.com Arena in Los Angeles. The show is about to air its In Memoriam segment honoring deceased artists, including Takeoff, who was fatally shot in November 2022 at a bowling alley in Houston. The Grammys invited both Quavo and Offset to participate in a tribute performance. Quo, who had prepared a performance of Without You with Maverick City Music, reportedly refused to let Offset join him on stage.
Both of y'all wrong! Both of y'all! This is not right! No!
The tension was already thick backstage. According to TMZ sources, as Quavo prepared to take the stage, Offset attempted to join and Quo blocked him, leading to a heated argument that escalated into a physical fight. Multiple people had to pull them apart. The fight never made it to the live broadcast because it stayed backstage. Quo went out and delivered an emotional solo tribute afterward. Offset took to Twitter the next day, writing, "What TF looked like fighting my brother Yao and S is crazy." Denying the physical altercation, fans were heartbroken. The general reaction was that Takeoff would not have wanted this, with that phrase trending across social media for days. The incident exposed deep fractures in Migos that never healed. And speaking of broken relationships at award shows, The Game and Young Thug threw hands at BET too. The Game and Young Thug brawl at BET. Fam, September 2014, BET Hip Hop Awards in Atlanta, and backstage is already a pressure cooker of egos and entourages. The Game is a West Coast veteran. Young Thug is the eccentric rising star from Atlanta who dresses different, sounds different, and does not care what anybody thinks. Tensions had been brewing between them from social media exchanges and subtle disses. What happened next stayed backstage and was never filmed for public release, which is exactly what makes it fit this list so perfectly. According to reports, the situation escalated into pushing, shoving, and a brief fight involving both rappers and possibly members of their entourages before security broke it up. Young Thug still performed that night with T.I. on About the Money and appeared on the red carpet looking unbothered. No arrests, no charges, no footage. But the tension did not stop there. By 2015, their beef went fully public with diss tracks, weapons on video, and social media threats. Eventually, Young Thug recorded an apology video saying he wanted to squash everything. The game accepted it on Instagram saying, "I think it'd take a real night to apologize and dead some shit." They reportedly squashed the beef multiple times with help from mutual connections. That same year at BET, though, the game and Young Thug were not even the only ones fighting. Ross and Jeezy's crews had already set the precedent 2 years earlier. Rick Ross and Young Jeezy crews brawl at BET. What's cracking, folks? September 2012, BET Hip Hop Awards at the Atlanta Civic Center, and the backstage area is basically a war zone waiting to happen. Tensions between Rick Ross and Young Jeezy had been simmering for years, largely tied to Ross shouting out Big Meech on his 2010 track BMF, which Jeezy took personally due to street politics and affiliations. A verbal argument between the two camps escalated into pushing and shoving backstage, growing into a full physical brawl involving multiple members from both entourages. The chaos reportedly spilled toward the parking lot with unconfirmed reports of gunfire, though Atlanta police later clarified no shots were fired. But the night was not over. Separately, Gunplay, Ross Maybach music group protege, got into it with 50 Cent's Gunnet entourage in the parking lot. Gunplay was reportedly alone when he encountered multiple members of the 50's crew. He claimed he fought one of them one-on-one before getting jumped by 4 or 5 others. Police pepper sprayed him to break it up, and leaked video showed him getting slammed into a barricade. His chain was snatched during the fight. Gunplay later went on The Breakfast Club saying he stood up in the paint like a real G supposed to. The 2012 BET Awards remain one of the wildest nights in award show history. But award shows are not the only place things go sideways. Nicki Minaj had a wardrobe situation that was never supposed to be seen either. Nicki Minaj's wardrobe malfunction on tour. All right, Fam March 2024, Kia Center in Orlando, and Nicki Minaj is headlining her Pink Friday 2 World Tour. During a fan interaction segment, she passes the mic to the crowd so they can sing the chorus to her 2014 hit, The Night Is Still Young. She is wearing a yellow dress, dancing, moving around, doing Nicki things. Then the strap gives out. She clutched her top, adjusted it, and kept going without stopping the show. Then she looked at the crowd with visible disappointment and said, Now, this was not even her first wardrobe incident. At the 2014 VMAs, she had a frantic 40-second costume change from her Anaconda outfit to a black dress for Bang Bang with Jessie J and Ariana Grande. And the dress was not zipped properly. She spent that entire performance clutching the front with one hand while performing with the other. Then, at the 2018 Made in America festival, her top slipped sideways during Majesty, exposing her breasts before she adjusted mid-dance. She was wearing pasties that time at least. Each time she handled it like a professional and kept performing, which honestly just made people respect her more. But speaking of stages where nobody planned what happened next, NBA YoungBoy had some words for fans who kept testing him. NBA YoungBoy threatens fan for throwing objects. Hey yo, October 2025, Columbia, South Carolina, and NBA YoungBoy is mid-set on his Massa tour. The crowd is rowdy, which is standard for a YoungBoy show, but one fan keeps throwing objects onto the stage. Bandanas, flags, shirts, whatever he could grab. YoungBoy tried to ignore it at first, but eventually he had enough.
Hey, you do it again, you gonna get your face broken, this bitch, little boy. Do it one more time. I saw you.
He was locked in on the guy, pointing directly at him.
Hey, we gonna try it again. Say, shawty, man, I ain't gotta fight, man. Hey, don't do it no more, little boy, I'm telling you.
He warned the fan not to test him and emphasized that people paid to enjoy the show. The show continued after the warning with no physical altercation, but this was not new behavior for YoungBoy. Back in September 2018 at the National in Richmond, Virginia, he walked off the stage into the crowd, zeroed in on a specific man, swung at him, and sparked a full brawl. Security rushed in as chaos erupted, and fans were directed to exit. The Richmond police even responded with a mayday call. YoungBoy shows are known for this kind of intensity. He demands respect in his space and does not play about it. But no list of uninvited stage moments is complete without the most iconic one of all. Lil Mama crashes. Jay-Z and Alicia Keys at the VM. Fam, this is the one that lives forever. September 13th, 2009, MTV Video Music Awards at Radio City Music Hall in New York City. And Jay-Z and Alicia Keys are closing out the show with Empire State of Mind. This was a massive moment for both of them and for the city. The crowd is electric. The performance is legendary. And then out of nowhere, Lil Mama jumps out of her seat, runs onto the stage uninvited, and starts dancing next to them like she was part of the act. Jay-Z visibly looked annoyed and backed away to create space. Alicia Keys was so locked in that she later said on Drink Champs she did not even notice Lil Mama was there until Jay-Z told her backstage. The next day, Lil Mama's manager released a statement saying she did not mean any disrespect and that her emotions were running high as a New Yorker celebrating her two icons, but the internet was not having it. She got destroyed on social media and TV. Years later, she got emotional recounting the backlash, saying the depression and public shaming that followed deeply affected her. She explained it was her grandmother's birthday, and she was genuinely moved. To his credit, Jay-Z forgave her in a 2021 Twitter Spaces conversation, saying, "That's our sister, man. We love her. She's a New Yorker." She got excited. Things happened. That same night also featured Kanye West interrupting Taylor Swift. So honestly, 2009 VMAs was just built different. This remains one of the most iconic uninvited stage moments in music history, and the perfect way to close out this list of rap show moments that were absolutely, positively never supposed to be filmed.
That's all for now, fam.
Until next time, be sure to click on the card showing on the screen for more.